Hey there, and welcome to another Explainer. Today, we're diving into a complete chronological journey sourced directly from industry experts. We're taking you all the way from a totally blank page right through to a polished, professional piece of mindfulness content. So let's explore the creator's blueprint for transforming guided meditations into truly captivating audio experiences.
The source material anchors this entire process perfectly, with a profound quote from Osho. Mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master. Think about the high stakes here for a second. When someone presses play on a meditation, they are literally handing over the keys to their mind for a few minutes. They're allowing your guidance into their most private, internal experience. So if the content is sloppy or distracting, well, you aren't just losing a viewer, you're actively interrupting someone's peace.
Okay, let's dive into this by mapping out our step-by-step masterclass for today. 1. The power of mindfulness. 2. Writing the meditation script. 3. The perfect recording setup. 4. Cinematic audio editing. And 5. Publishing engaging micro-content.
Let's start with Section 1, the power of mindfulness, why quality matters.
So why is professional production absolutely non-negotiable? Well, here is a really surprising takeaway from the data. A listener is actually more likely to abandon your content due to bad audio than bad visuals. Crazy, right? When it comes to wellness content, high-quality audio is the glue that keeps an audience deeply engaged. Muffled, fuzzy, or garbled audio completely shatters their focus. And remember, for people who are blind or have low vision, clear audio is even more essential. Basically, amateurish recordings actively prevent the listener from absorbing the exact calm that your content is designed to provide in the first place.
Moving on to Section 2, writing the meditation script, the clinical foundation.
Let's slow down a bit and look at the actual writing. Based on clinical guidelines from PABO, a highly effective 5-minute meditation actually follows a very specific arc. It begins with Step 1, settling in, just getting the listener comfortable. Step 2 is grounding the body, so noticing where the body needs the chair. Step 3 is following the breath, literally just watching the air come in and out. Step 4 offers a moment of stillness, a deliberate pause with nowhere to be. And finally, Step 5 is returning, gently widening their attention back to the room. This specific sequence safely and predictably guides a listener into a state of calm, and just as importantly, safely brings them back out.
What's really fascinating here is how different script variations serve very distinct clinical purposes. Take a body scan, for example. It systematically moves awareness through the body, which is perfect for clients holding physical stress. On the other hand, a breathing script anchors the nervous system directly by extending the exhale. It's an amazingly fast way to handle anxiety. And finally, a sensory grounding script, where clients keep their eyes open and actually name things they see and hear, is incredibly effective for acute panic or dissociation. For those clients, closing their eyes might actually feel unsafe.
Now, for the delivery itself, the sources highlight a golden rule. Pacing is everything. Using short, unhurried sentences and leaving deliberate 3 to 5 second pauses between your cues is crucial. And right before inviting the listener to open their eyes at the end, the recommendation is to allow a full 30 seconds of pure quiet. The trick for creators is to resist the urge to fill the silence, because honestly, the silence is actually doing the heavy lifting for relaxation.
All right, Section 3, the perfect recording setup, controlling the physical world. Okay, let's talk about the physical space. The data shows that proper acoustic treatment absolutely does not require a Hollywood budget. The ideal environment is honestly just the smallest windowless room you can find. Using soft materials stops sound from bouncing erratically all over the place, so just bringing in curtains, carpets, and pillows does wonders. You'll want to position yourself with your back against a wall or tucked into a corner to help the sound bounce correctly. And for sure, ensuring the space is completely free from ambient noise, like physically turning off your AC and fans, is Step 1 before hitting record. When it comes to microphone placement, your magic number is 1. The sources recommend keeping your mouth exactly 1 fist away from the microphone. Propping up pillows behind you, sitting up straight, and keeping that 1 fist distance completely consistent is a brilliant industry trick. And here's an interesting detail. Just because your content is relaxing, that does not mean your voice should be weak. Projecting a strong, energetic voice throughout ensures the microphone captures enough actual sound data for us to edit later.
And speaking of data, when choosing between WAV and MP3 formats for your recording, WAV is the clear winner. Think of a WAV file as keeping all the meat on the bone of your audio data. It's totally uncompressed. So if you need to strip away a little background hiss later, a WAV file leaves the core of your voice perfectly intact. An MP3, on the other hand, it's heavily compressed,
If you try to edit an MP3, your voice is going to end up sounding incredibly robotic and thin. No thanks.
Which brings us nicely to Section 4, Cinematic Audio Editing, the Digital Polish.
Let's demystify the software side of things. The key tool here is a parametric equalizer. You'll often find this in software like Premiere Pro. All it does is visually map out the entire spectrum of your voice frequencies, from the deep, rumbly lows to the sharp highs. It literally allows you to physically shape the sound of your voice by cutting out bad frequencies and boosting the good ones.
The sources actually reveal a pretty standard step-by-step formula for this. First, cut everything below 60 to 80 Hz. You can't really hear these low frequencies, but they definitely interfere with clarity. Second, boost the frequencies right around 100 Hz to add this lovely cinematic warmth and bass to your voice. Third, if your voice sounds a bit muddy, like you're speaking out of a cardboard box, just cut a few decibels in the 200 to 400 Hz range. And finally, boost the high frequencies just a tiny bit for crystal clear articulation.
Next up is the audio gate system. Now, this is an effect that is often completely misunderstood by new creators. A gate only mutes background noise during the silent pauses between your words. It cannot remove background noise while you are actively speaking. So if an ambulance siren goes by outside and you keep talking, that siren is permanently baked into your voice data. You can't separate them. The standard practice is simple. If there's a loud noise, stop speaking, wait for it to pass, and just start the sentence over.
There's also a very strict technical boundary when it comes to your final volume, which we measure in decibels. Your audio output gain should peak right around -6 decibels. Never, ever let your audio hit 0 decibels. If it hits 0, the audio will clip. This creates a really harsh, painful distortion for anyone listening, which is the absolute last thing you want if someone is wearing headphones trying to relax. Play it safe, keep it warm and peaking at -6.
But what if setting up a perfect physical recording environment just isn't an option for you? The sources present a fascinating alternative route: text-to-speech technology. Tools like Google AI Studio offer completely free models, like Gemini 3.1 Flash. By typing out a perfectly paced script and selecting a voice style, maybe energetic, maybe soothing, the AI generates a highly natural-sounding audio file. It is an incredible backup tool to have in your back pocket.
All right, let's speed things up for our final stage. Section 5, Publishing Engaging Micro-Content. This is our distribution strategy.
So how do we turn this pristine audio into scroll-stopping social media assets? Media expert Tim Townley outlines 4 rapid-fire rules for micro-content. First, keep it short and sweet. Attention spans are tiny, right? So extract just the most powerful 15 to 30-second clip. Second, focus on storytelling. Pair that audio with beautiful behind-the-scenes glimpses or really calming B-roll visuals. Third, never sacrifice that high-quality audio and video we just worked so hard on. And fourth, maintain consistency. Posting regular, bite-sized moments of calm builds massive audience anticipation and keeps them coming back for more.
And there you have it. We now have the exact blueprint, from clinical scripting and room acoustics all the way to EQ editing and social media distribution. And the best part? These tools are incredibly accessible and require absolutely zero Hollywood budget. So I leave you with this final question. Are you ready to turn these insights into cinematic, high-impact content that your audiences simply can't stop watching? Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and keep learning.